The new Usopp leader for OP10 has been revealed. This is a Dressrosa leader. How does it work? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Mobby, and today I have my current deck profile for this Usopp leader. Now, just so you guys know right off the bat, this is not a complete OP10. This just got revealed about 10 or so hours ago, and pretty much there are a couple of new OP10 cards, but it's basically using everything from OP9 and below. We will do a follow-up video when it's closer to the OP10 release that has everything in here. So this is a first draft. Don't take this too seriously, rather see it as a sort of experimental theory crafting. You can see what the leader is somewhat capable of, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to go through every single card, then at the end I'll let you know if I think this deck is good or bad and the overall thoughts on the leader. Let's head on over to every single card, and we're going to talk about the game plan. So Dressrosa has only been Kyros, which is the yellow-black, or the Rebecca, which was the blue-black, same colors here. However, I feel like the Rebecca deck is a lot more suited for a lot of those rest your leader, rest the stage abilities, and of course you can't attack, and it's all about removal. This leader is much more, oddly enough, really aggressive, and the way that I built this deck, it's basically a lot of swarming and staying on the board and being self-sustained. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So this is Usopp from OP10, 5,000 power, 4 life, blue-black, Dressrosa, and Straw Hat crew, meaning, yeah, there's a lot of cards that say if your leader is Straw Hat, and you can do stuff like that. However, I feel like there's no point using this leader unless you're using Dressrosa, because you have two really good effects that are specific to that. Your cost 2 and greater Dressrosa type characters have +1 cost, so it's really good to help you from anti-removal. And then on your opponent's turn, once per turn, this effect may be activated when one of your Dressrosa type characters are removed from the field by an effect, meaning KO'd, trashed, etc., or are KO'd. Now, unless the translation is off, and let me know if it is, but basically it means if a character attacks into one of your Dressrosas and they died, you can still use this ability. So no matter how they leave the field from your opponent, you're going to be able to do this. If you have 5 or less in your hand, draw 1 card. So a very, very powerful effect. I think you only use this with Dressrosa for the most part. And if you guys are interested, there's around 46 Dressrosas, with 4 being, I don't know, can you guess? Okay, so let's start with the first card here. This is Mansherry, running these as a tech choice with 2 of them in it. 101, this came out in OP05, activate main with 1 Dawn. Rest this and place 2 characters from your 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck to return 1 black card from 3 or 5 back from your trash to your hand. This deck doesn't have a ton of trashing cards like the Rebecca deck does. However, this will still come into play like maybe once or twice when you get it on the field. It's also a 1-cost counter, a searchable Dressrosa card, and of course a pseudo target blocker. All right, next off, it's going to be a new card from OP10. This is Leo. So this is a 1/2/1 card. On play, you can rest one of your leaders or stages. If your leader is Usopp, so it literally only works with this leader at the moment. You're gonna search the top 5, reveal 2 cards other than Leo that has Dressrosa, and put them into your hand. Then you go ahead and trash 1 after doing that. Now, it's really good in this deck, because if you get this the very first turn, whether or not you go first or seconds, you can't attack with Usopp. So if you throw this out, you're going to be arresting Usopp because he can't do anything this turn, and then you're going to be searching for those top 5. If you go second, if you have Leo and you have the Karita Coliseum, you have a really good first turn. But basically, you can't use more than 1 per turn if your leader, if you're just going for the very first turn. But it's a pretty good searching card, and it has 2 damage, so maybe you can put some more Dawn on to get a little bit of extra damage. So there you go. And here we are, Karita Coliseum. If your leader is Dressrosa, your characters with Dressrosa can attack other characters the turn that they're played. Really powerful ability. This also combos with the Leo as well, so there you go. So later on, so you want to find these and play them on turn 2 and onwards. The Leos should only be played 2 and onwards, because every turn you do want to attack with Usopp, and that's the benefit of having this leader over Rebecca as well. Next off, we have the one-legged toy soldier. We're running 4 of these 2K counters. In this deck, we're only running 8 2K counters, and the reason being, it's because we have around 20 or so different blocker cards. So you don't really need that many, card counters. So this came out in OP10 202. Activate main to trash this character. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -3. This deck does not have a lot of removal. However, there is one card that's a decent removal, so this card will help benefit that. Otherwise, it is just a 2K Dressrosa searching counter card. Next up, we have Kyros in here. Now, before you guys comment, Kyros doesn't work without Rebecca. I feel like this deck is a swarming deck, and this leader is still decent because of the first effect. So this came out in OP04, 350 counter. If this character would be KO'd, meaning by an effect or by getting hit with another character, you can rest your leader or one Karita Coliseum. So you're usually not going to be resting your leader for this. However, it is another one of the good uses for your Karita Coliseum. You're running 4 of these, and you have a really amazing searcher in the form of Leo. But basically, if you're able to just get one of these on the field with the Karita Coliseum, it's going to be super annoying for your opponent, and you're going to be able to attack multiple times. Once again, this deck does not revolve around removal, so we don't care about the second one here. We only care about the first ability when it happens. There's also another good reason why we want a 3 cost in here as well, and we'll get to it once we talk about it. But this is one of your very early game attackers. You have 3 cost attackers, 4 5s, and 7 8 attackers cost. So this is one of your very early ones. Next off, we have Bartolomeo, a staple in freaking Dressrosa decks. 3/3/2. It's a blocker. It's a 2K with blocker. Really good. Came out in OP04. You want to run this. You want to run 4 in Usopp. You want to run 4 in Rebecca, and of course 4 in Kyros if you can. These things are very versatile. All right, now, yeah, we're actually seeing this card being used. So this is Ricodo the third, OP05 451, has innate blocker. Then when you play it and when this thing is KO'd, up to one of your other Dressrosa type characters gain 2000. So if you have Karita Coliseum and you play this turn that you can, this thing will already be a 7 with 4 Dawn that you can go ahead and attack with. There's also cards that can summon this, which gives them 2000 power as well. It's a really good card in this deck. So 1 2 3 4. Next off, we have another new card from OP10. This is Frankie, 451 innate blocker, and another blocker. So when this is KO'd, you can play a 3 or lower Dressrosa from your trash rested. Now, the best targets in this particular deck is going to be the Bartolomeo. Even though it gets played rested, it is another character that your opponent has to worry about. It can come back to active if they don't remove it, and it will be a blocker. 2 Dawn for a potential attacker. Then this is your best one. You can bring back your Kyros, which is going to be a 5 attacker. You don't have to add anything extra. You're not going to get the on play, but who cares? This is just a swarming deck. You want this to just be as annoying as possible on the board. You can also bring out your one-legged toy soldiers to set up your next turn for your only removal of the deck, and then you can also you can grab your Leo as well. So if you also grab your Leo and you have your Kratos Coliseum, you basically just got another search, which is pretty sweet. And also your Moncherry, which comes in rested, but still it'll activate on your turn, or they have to do more stuff to remove it. So a really good card in this deck. However, I think this is really going to shine in a Rebecca deck, because when KO'd, it doesn't say on your turn, it doesn't say on your opponent's turn. So you can just think about it. If you use Rebecca, you have Orlumbus, you can KO him, bring out a Scarlet that's a 3, maybe something, and then you can KO that. It's yeah, there's a lot of like weird, crazy cool stuff you can do with this Frankie, but the use in this deck will just simply be you either grab a searching card or you bring out the Kyros to be annoying on the board. So yeah, really good card. Okay, now of course you got your staple Rebecca's. These things are so good, man. OP05 401 blocker, on play, add up to 1 black character with 3 to 7 other than Rebecca. Lots of really good cards. Lots of really good cards. It doesn't even matter if it's Dressrosa. However, every card in here that is 3 to 7 will be Dressrosa, so there is a ton of targets to use this. Then if you want, you can play a 3 or less black character, which is going to be the Bartolomeo, and it's rested. But yeah, once again, as mentioned, targets, etc. But yeah, your best thing is going to be Kyros again. There you go, Rebecca or Manchuri. You can do that too. So running 4 of these. Now we have Sabos. These are awesome. These things are always staples in a lot of black decks, but however, it's a Dressrosa. It's another character. Remember, your cost 2 or greater have +1 extra cost, so this will be a 6 cost when you drop it. And also the on play helps you sift down. You know, if you already have one Karita Coliseum in your hand, you don't need multiples. You can trash those. It's a really good card. So yeah, just these are good. 2, 3, 4. Now time for one of the crazy new cards of the sets here. OP10 Rebecca. This is an SR7-4. 3-4, huh? However, it's a 1 counter on play. Check this out. If there is an 8 or greater character in play, you draw 1 card. Now remember, permanently every single one of your 2+ Dressrosa have +1, so she does count as 8 on her own for this play. Now, then you reveal 2 7 or lower Dressrosa types other than Rebecca. You play 1 active, and then the other, if it's a 4 cost, you play it rested. So it's like a pseudo Gecko Moria. There's a lot of different things you can use. Imagine playing just this Rebecca, and then you get to play the Sabo, which is a blocker up, and then you get to play, you can't play this Rebecca, but you can play this other Frankie here. There's so many different choices in here, but I think one of the best cards to play with this will be the one that comes right up after this, which is another new OP10 card, Kyros 790 on play. Return a 5 or lower character back to its owner's hand. Now, you don't really, you know, the returning back to the hand is whatever. It's still a removal that your opponent has to spend Dawn on to keep playing. You know, it skips a turn. This is the only card that is a removal, and once again, it could work with this. So you can essentially remove 8 costs as this is on the field beforehand. Or you can use Rebecca, and you can, you know, you can play this one and you can play that one. Remember, you play one of them rested. Oh, actually, no. You both play at the same time, and then this is a main effect. So you have to have this on the turn before, use the Toy Soldier, and then play that Rebecca for that to work. But basically, it's an interesting card. It's a really, it's a good one to play in this deck or the other blue Rebecca. And unfortunately, you can't play it in the black-yellow Kyros because, you know, Kyros can't play himself in a blue deck. But anyway, 7-9. It's a pretty good stat line. And then the final card of the deck, yeah, you know, it's Gecko Moria, OP06. I really wish this was limited or errata to be leader locked. It's just way too strong in every single black deck. It's so insane. 890 on play. Choose a 4 and a 2 cost character from your trash. Play 1 active and the other rested. So let's quickly talk about the different sort of, you know, things you can do with this deck. So you got your 4 Gecko Morias that bring stuff back. Actually, let's go to a larger one here. So you got your Gecko Morias. You have your Kyroses, which is a really good one. Your Rebecca can play the Kyros. Think of this combo, dude. So you already have your Coliseum on the board. You can do this. You can do Rebecca into Kyros active, King Ronaldo rested. His on play will give him 2,000 more to be an 11. You have Karita Coliseum on the board. He, at the very first turn, you can 11,000 attack somebody. Boom. And remember, this guy can attack characters because the Coliseum's on the board. And that's just one combo. If you need to be a lot more defensive, you can have Rebecca here. You can throw out King Ronaldo. You can throw out a Sabo. Like, let's see. You can do like this or that. So basically, this guy will give Rebecca 2, so she can attack the turn she's played as well. There's just a lot of different combos you can use. You can also bring out this, but just remember, if you're playing something like Rebecca blue black, you can bring out, you know, Frankie, you can bring out Orlumbus, do some KO shenanigans. There's a lot to this deck. But yeah, just remember, guys, this is only a couple of hours since this Usopp leader has been announced, and only a couple of OP10 cards. I assume there's going to be way more support specifically for Dressrosa, so there will be a new deck in the future, maybe a week or 2 before OP10 actually releases. But I'm going to try this deck in a duel or 2, and then, you know, I'll go ahead and, you know, I'll edit those videos, I'll upload it, and then I'll give you guys the results. But yeah, just once again, just take this with a grain of salt. This is just a for fun deck. Once all of OP10 cards are out, we're gonna redo the deck. But yeah, I feel like this leader is really good for just swarming the board and being super annoying. So the good things about this particular deck. Lots of swarm, lots of ways to just keep bringing stuff on, and you have cost plus protected with the +1, and it has a lot of cool Dressrosa synergy, lots of good like searching and stuff. I also didn't bring in the other Rebecca searcher because I think 8 searchers in this deck is just way too much. This Leo searcher just works really well with Usopp, and you just need that extra 4 slots for more actual cards to help you win the game. The only thing that's bad about this deck is whatever, the late game isn't the most insane. Gecko and Gecko and Kyros are decent, but there's not the craziest amount. And there's not a lot of removal in this deck for being a blue-black deck, which is pretty uncharacteristic. But, you know, this effect is insane right here. You just keep getting cards once per your opponent's turn, but 1 extra. It's pretty cool. So, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.